Just about 10 minutes in front of 9 o'clock, Fox Sports Radio, 98.9 FM, 1340 AM, flagship of the Vegas Golden Knights. On the phone with us right now, former bad boy, longtime coach in the WNBA for New York, and now the last couple of years for the Las Vegas Aces, Bill Laimbeer. What's up, my friend? How are you handling quarantine?
Yeah, it's like everybody else, you know. Some days are boring, and some days are boringer.
A lot of movies and Netflix?
No, I'm not a movie person. So
I'm not either, man.
A little bit of fishing shows and, you know, news.
And getting ready for a season that was supposed to be starting right now. How are you guys keeping in touch, Bill? I've heard a lot of sports, a lot of the professional sports are virtually having their same meetings, working out, and things along those lines. Are you doing that?
Well, the basketball players are not allowed to go to gyms unless they have their own gym at home. So, you know, our trainer will, you know, spend some time virtual workout, so to speak, with computers and phones and things like that. But, you know, the league has a kibosh on any organized workouts and even a player going to a gym.
What is the word that you're hearing as far as when this might change, when they might even open up for you guys to practice?
Yeah, clear as mud. Don't really know. They're still working their way through many scenarios. The WNBA will take their lead from the men. The men have a lot more zeros and a lot more at stake. So whatever they decide, I assume we'll follow.
Bill, you didn't have a pick in the first couple rounds of the WNBA draft because of the deal for Liz Campage last year. But you get Lauren Manis in the third round from Holy Cross, 3-year starter. This woman really has it together basketball-wise. Pretty good pick for the third round. Were you guys happy with that selection?
Yeah, you know, it's always a crapshoot in the later round like that. But quite frankly, you know, there aren't a lot of roster spots in this league, let alone on our team. So third-round picks historically really don't have any chance to make a ball club. Even first-round picks, you know, which are gold in the men in our league, the lower first-round picks get cut all the time.
This team last year, you know, I think, I won't say exceeded expectations, but met them as far as getting to the postseason and really putting on a good show. Took the Mystics right to the wire, it seemed like in just about every game, except for maybe game 2 and 3. But, Bill, building on last year and looking forward, you get pretty much everybody back. I know one of your top players retired, but for the most part, you got everyone coming back. Looking forward to this year, if there is a season this year, how good is this team's ceiling?
Well, I think we'll be right there as one of the favorites. You know, we have every position covered across the board. What really helped was that year of experience last year, especially getting into a playoff series where they learned, you know, what it takes. And we were the youngest team in the league last year, so we had to go through the growing pains. And I think they all realized that they are a good basketball team, and if they do the little things in the regular season and band together, they have a chance to compete for the championship.
You know, last year, obviously, we lost just a great human being, one of the most outstanding athletes of all time in Kobe Bryant, and he was such a gigantic advocate and spokesman for the WNBA. Who are you looking to maybe fill that role?
You know, you don't look for anybody. People will step up naturally. You know, it's the WNBA is a very quick growing sport. Everybody realizes now the women are solid basketball players and solid citizens. So we have a lot of momentum going into the season. Unfortunately, we're on a holding pattern right now. But, you know, you can't force somebody to do anything. You have to believe in it, and that's what Kobe did.
I think WNBA has proven to be an exceptional product, really popular here in Las Vegas. Bill, before I let you go, turning the tide to the NBA now. Obviously, one of the big things with no sports is this documentary series that's been going on ESPN. Being from Detroit, a gigantic Detroit Piston fan, I'm watching it because, you know, I hated the Bulls. I'm not going to lie, I say it all the time on the air, but to not respect them and their ability to play the game of basketball and their ability to be a team, it would be ludicrous if you're a sports fan. You obviously have been it's never been secretive of your feeling for that Chicago Bulls team in that era of your life. Are you watching the documentary?
No, I don't have any plans to either. I'm getting hit by a lot of national radio and TV programs, ESPN being one of them, to go on the air and talk about it. And I'm just telling them, hey, I don't even pay attention to it, and you know, and could care less. I get it that there's no programming out there, so it's going to get big ratings. But you know, it is whatever they say. I don't really care. But I'll go on their shows and just tell them, answer their questions, but I'm not watching it.
What about like tonight? I mean, Dennis Rodman is narrating parts 3 and 4. That still elicits no interest.
Yeah, I have no interest whatsoever. You know, I lived it once. I'm not going to go back and rehash all this stuff.
No, I know, and you know, one of my favorite documentaries was the one they did on the Bad Boys. And if you could see us on Facebook Live right now, I'm wearing my old Bad Boy shirt. It's about falling apart because I've had it for so many years. Got to attend all those games, the Portland series, the LA series, and I want to ask you, in 1988, the '88 season, you guys, if Isaiah doesn't hurt his ankle, do you guys win that series? I mean, obviously it's conjecture, but man, it sure felt like if he doesn't hurt his ankle, you guys win that series. Maybe you have 3 championships.
Well, we would have won the series if we didn't get a bad call at the end on Kareem in Game 6.
Yep.
But Isaiah did a heroic effort playing on his bad foot in Game 6, and that was our time to win that championship right there. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and we got beat, you know, at the buzzer in Game 7. But you know, you can't bring back the past. You can move on. The most important thing is we had the mental discipline to play through it for the next couple of years and win. If we had, that was our only chance, we never got back, then it would have been a lot more disappointing than it is today.
Okay, 2 more things, and I'll let you go. One, in the documentary, The Pistons, it was, you know, no one ever really knew until that documentary, at least us, you know, as fans on the outside didn't know who had made the decision not to shake the Chicago Bulls' hands after they lost. You guys lost to them in the Eastern Conference Finals in 4 State. You came right out proudly and said, yeah, it was my idea. It seemed like maybe back then Isaiah was kind of getting blamed for that.
Yeah, well, he was a leader, you know, and leadership always gets blamed a lot. But, you know, it was just a situation where, you know, I didn't want to shake their hands because, you know, all they did was they spent a year and a half just bad-mouthing us and calling us bad people, which historically has proven that the exact opposite was true. So, you know, they whined and cried and just said, what the hell am I going to shake their hands for? Let's just get out of here.
Last question for you, and it's going to be about Dennis Rodman. You know, we were talking about him in the parking lot before we came into the show today, us and the co-host and producer and our intern. And, you know, I was saying that, you know, I've never, you don't enjoy when you say, I enjoy watching somebody play defense. Defense wins championships, and the Pistons were a lockdown, shutdown defensive squad. But when I say I'm watching Dennis Rodman play basketball, especially in the early years, I loved watching him play defense. And that never stopped. That never changed throughout his career. But, Bill, when did you see, was it when Chuck left that you noticed a huge change in Dennis?
Yeah, you know, Dennis, you know, was always a big kid, and he never really had any responsibility. And, you know, and when Chuck left, it was a big blow to him. I'm not saying that's why he went off the deep end to a point, but, you know, he embarked upon a different path in his career to make sure everybody knew who he was. And sometimes it doesn't gel with a team environment, and it became clear that Dennis had to move on, and he moved on and was very successful. But in our world of how we played basketball and discipline that we had internally, the path he was on wasn't going to fit.
Well, he had a great career, but yeah, it definitely changed. It was nice in the early careers, and one of the most special moments of me being a Piston fan was when he won his first Defensive Player of the Year, and watching the emotions and how much it meant to him was really, really cool and something I'll never forget in my life. Like I'll never forget your back-to-back championships or the shirt I'm wearing. Bill, I want to thank you for joining the show and let you know I've forgiven you for the chicken wings you spit on me back in the locker room, but my intern here, for some reason, has a problem with Bill Laimbeer, and I don't know what it is. At the WNBA...
it's his problem.
That's what... Bill, listen, really appreciate taking the time. Please be safe and well with your family. Look forward to seeing you back here in Vegas coaching the Aces real soon.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Absolutely. Bill Laimbeer, coach of the WNBA Las Vegas Aces, and one of the key integral parts of the former original Bad Boys back in the late 80s, early 90s. Really cool team to watch that team